So we are today out for a walk on the Oxfordshire Way footpath. Despite the fact that there was, the forecast is mostly cloudy. Obviously it's raining, so I've deployed the new rain hat. If I give you a quick scout round with the camera, you'll see sort of the terrain where we are. Yeah, it's fairly open up here, up at the top of the hill, and we're just outside Henley, and we're here for a few days at a campsite just outside Henley, just to do some general kind of exploring. So yeah, it's just a sort of a short break, a few days away, do some exploring. I've had a bit of a walk through the town yesterday, and today I'm just following this footpath which comes out starts at the Northfield end of Henley, and yeah, it's just the start of the part of the footpath, the Oxfordshire Way footpath. I'm just going to follow it for a little way. See, I'm just out for a walk really. I've brought the X-Pro1 with a few lenses. Currently on there, 27mm Fuji lens, and I haven't changed that in days, I don't think. I did bring the Samyang 12mm and I think the Mikey 35 and the Fuji 50 to 230 zoom. Probably not expecting to use it. And the other camera I brought, just as my kind of pocket companion, is the Ricoh GR, which is, to be honest, it is a good pocket companion because you can just chuck it in your pocket, take it out and use it in pretty much in an instant, and you can even use it one-handed when you want to. As you can see, I think maybe the worst of the weather's past. I did get a bit wet on the climb up the hill, but not too bad. But I thought I'd try the new rain hat just to see how it works. So yeah, I'm pleased with it so far. No water run down my neck, and with a brim, you know, it keeps your ears and your face reasonably out of the rain, out of the water. How does this say on the gate here? There's a little notice on this rather sheep, and there's a number the sheep can ring if they've got any inquiries. But oh yeah, you can see this is the Oxfordshire Way, the Seven Shires Way public footpath. I've got a feeling there's a picture here somewhere. Wow, yeah, look at the moss on the top of that. That's brilliant. Yeah, the Ricoh GR will make a fine picture there, I think. Possibly with its macro mode switched on. Oh, macro mode's still on from the time I used it last. So I'm going to pull the. You can probably see what I'm doing here now. Pull the shutter down right low, 3.5 there, 3.5. Level it up. Well, we'll see what that's like. I was a little bit shaky there. I think we were running at a 60th of a second, but we'll see what that's like. This is a lovely looking post, I have to say. There we go. I think this whole thing is quite photogenic, but it's a matter of finding. I don't want the macro on now. Switch the macro off. Let's go up to F4. Down to a 40th of a second there, so we'll see what that's like. Switch that off. Okay, let's continue on whilst I try and find a spider who's hanging off from my hat. Yeah, I've got a lot of sheep up here, but not a lot else. I think the campsite that we're on is over there, over the drop off that hill down that way. But it's this path runs diagonally away from it, so getting to be or will be getting to be a distance away from it soon. Sheep are starting to watch me now as I approach. Hopefully they're not too flighty. Well, this is a little bit windswept, but it's very pleasant. Well, very pleasant. Yeah, obviously, it's raining, it's cold, and it's a bit cooler, and there's a bit of a breeze, but it's alright, you know. It's just nice to be out, as I always say. I like just being outside, really. Just taking stock, taking a few pictures, partially sheltering from the rain, as always. Just spotted this little view down here. Obviously it will look slightly different with the perspective of the action cam versus the Fuji with the 27mm lens, but I thought I'd just see what we got here. It's just really kind of a bit of an autumn colour type scene, that's all. I got my view mode wrong. There we go. Yep. There we go. Well, let's move on as we are now. Back to walking under the trees here for a little while by the looks of things. And of course I've got my waterproof bag. This bag, although I think I showed it before with a full rain cover, it does have this little hood cover as well, so you can just, for light showers like this, when you actually want to get to the cameras, you can just put the top little rain hood on and just stop it getting, to make it a bit more shower proof rather than really waterproof. The grey cover on it makes it kind of much more of a waterproofing option, so when you don't want to get the cameras out so much, possibly when you're hiking or something. Yeah, the autumn colours are starting to come through a bit better now in most places. I think maybe next week, the week after, as long as you don't get too many high winds, might be a good opportunity to pay a visit to Wisley or somewhere to see some of the autumn colours there. But so much depends on the weather, because up ahead here, there's definitely colour in these trees, which is quite amber, quite nice, very pleasant, and you can see the leaves on the ground are also quite pleasant. And I noticed, in my recent walk down to Wagons Wells, the trees there are changing colour nicely, so I'll try and get back down there in the next week or so, see how that's doing. But this time of the year, you have to be, I find, most years you have to be fairly quick to pick up some decent autumn colour pictures whilst the leaves are still on the trees, because couple of days of high winds and they're all on the floor. It's surprising how many times you walk in one direction and you just don't spot things as the vista opens up behind you, unless you're constantly stopping to turn around. You often don't see just how good the view is behind you. Not many breaks in the cloud today at the moment, I have to say. Just kind of steady rain. Yeah, I'm finding this combination of X-Pro1 with the 27mm lens and the Ricoh GR as ideal companions for one another, because they're just the right sort of focal lengths to have when you're in town and the like, I'm finding. Because they're focal lengths that I like to use, I don't have to swap lenses at all. And the Ricoh GR does a really good job with its equivalent 28mm lens, and obviously the Fuji X-Pro1 does a really good job with its equivalent roughly 40mm lens. muddy. So I'm finding for town work where you just don't want to be standing around changing lenses because you'll miss something, that they're having those two cameras is pretty much ideal at the moment for me. To be honest, in this weather I don't particularly like, I don't enjoy changing lenses too much in case I get, you know, spots of water on either the back of the lens or on the sensor. So I don't really like changing lenses too much in this weather anyway. Swan alert. Swan alert. Hello swan, baby swan. So, still at Henley-on-Thames. I come for a walk along the bank of the Thames. I've come along to a place called Temple Island, I think it is. And there is the temple on Temple Island. There is the swan who's come to see me. If I just swing the camera around, you can see there's a little mooring here, and then that's off away from Henley, and then that's back in the Henley direction. It's a small boat there. So yeah, we've got some kind of fairly changeable skies, as you can see. I'm going to start walking along. Oh, it's breezy. Yeah, I've come quite a distance actually. I'm walking along this kind of footpath here, goes along the edge of the Thames. The Thames path, the Thames footpath, is actually on the other side of the Thames at this point, and it crosses over once it gets to the bridge at Henley. So it was on this south bank, and then crosses over to the north bank once it gets to Henley. So I'm just walking along a public footpath. It's not the Thames pathway thing. It's cool and breezy out today. The reason I've come down here is because I just wanted to kind of scope out a terrific piece of water there lying in the middle of this field. Look at that. I have got the Ricoh GR in my pocket. So with that light on this water here, we'll have a quick Ricoh GR moment. There you go. Yeah, so I've come down really to scope out some possible locations for like an early morning sunrise, frosty morning down by the river tomorrow morning. I'm going to set the alarm for early. It's a better view of the temple here. And in fact, I will take a quick shot from here. See what we can do. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll be in there or not. I suppose if I crouch down, I will be. There we are. There you go. Ooh. So as you can see, or rather, as you can now see, today I brought the Olympus E-M1 with the it's got the 14 to 150 on there at the moment, but I also brought the 100 to 400, which is in my rucksack or in my bag, and I also brought the 15mm Leica thing as well. Oh dear, yeah. My nose is playing up a little bit too. So the reason I brought the Olympus was that's what I'm going to use tomorrow morning. That's the main reason I brought it. And I picked it over the Fuji's because just to give it an outing partly also because this 14 to 150 zoom is very versatile. There's a lot of these sort of structures to walk across on this path, which is fine, but you want to be careful you don't slip. Plenty of red kites down here, plenty of geese. Oh, you probably can't see the red kite there, that's probably too far away. But I did put the, I almost stumbled into some earlier, sitting in a tree. Didn't manage to photograph them, obviously, didn't even have a camera out at the time, which is a crime, but there you go. Yeah, this path sort of meanders through the fields like this on this side of the Thames, which is great. I think I'm definitely going to have to dress a bit warmer. First thing tomorrow morning I'll need, because it's supposed to be -1 tonight, so I'm going to need gloves and me thermal trousers and a woolly hat rather than a cap. I put a cap on today again because I thought it might need a rain hat after yesterday's rather wet walk along the Oxfordshire Way footpath. So I was trying to be prepared today for a potential weather situation. So I'm now just headed back in the direction of Henley, and I'll probably go back for some afternoon tea, I think. I don't honestly think this is a good location for first thing tomorrow morning. I think I'll head towards the town, to be honest. I think that's a better bet than this.